Okay, uh, this video is for the street people who suffer, for the underground and the overground, those who haven't put the pieces together yet, but who need these pieces in order to be aware of what's really been happening in the United States of America since 1988. Why? And hopefully better protect yourselves from it. I spoke of how in 1988 I had a communion experience with God. I could do so repeatedly and at will. The 1988 chip was put in my head, and I would still have the experience. Well, the people who put the chip in my head, which was directly connected to the people who robbed me, two racist engineers, a racist corrupt cop, and that racist corrupt cop's devil-worshipping snitch network leader. Between those three white individuals and the black devil worshipper, they put chips in a lot of people's head. They created their own shadow country, not just a shadow government, a shadow country. When I would commune, just imagine for a second the amount of energy that would go through the chip and through the links. The chip was left in and I was left alive because through their metaphysical beliefs or devil worshipping beliefs or whatever beliefs they had, they hoped to develop the technology to be able to experiment on you and duplicate such things within themselves. Whether they claimed their goal was to be the Antichrist, to open a portal to hell, or to be their own God doesn't matter. There were many that had such an agenda. But I've been left in perpetual poverty my whole life, just to keep me around, stop me from communing, and hopefully duplicate within themselves what was experienced and studied, the data received through the chip when I was 11 and 12 years old. You fast forward to 2010 and the group devil worshipping COVID usurpers. There are people who are directly connected in some way, shape, or form to 1988. When they saw their window of opportunity, when it was believed the technology had been developed to finally succeed, they turned on everybody and tried to hijack the experiment for themselves in order to keep all of the results for themselves. Now, this is speculation, but I personally believe the way they did that is first, they snitched on the police in Colorado, the largest gang in Colorado, for running the slave trade. Then they turned to them and told them, we'll help get you out of this, and turned on them again in order to keep them on a short leash, and they're part of it. Because there was, when you go back to 88, there was also the racist engineers. But to keep them on a short leash and keep them out of all of the experimentation they wanted to do upon them. Hence the selling out of the battered women's shelter in 2011. It got set up because the police got snitched out. The police didn't want to get in trouble for their part in it. They turned to their underground constituents, or the underground constituents went to them with like, yeah, we got you back. And they turned on them again. But the reality is this. Between my being set up in 2007 by the Colorado Judicial Branch and everything that's been done to me in the underground, because wherever I go in the country, this continues, which means for 30 years, this whole experiment has been being set up. When I moved into Western Flats in 2012, I had said in a prior video that God had asked me to stand in the gap. If I chose not to do it, he would send somebody else, but I would suffer horribly for the remainder of my life. That means the people, the root devil worshipping coven usurpers, their power base was in Colorado, because I was going to leave. The rest of the experimentation, if I would have went anywhere else in the country, those with PhDs and who aren't junkies would have went hard to the paint with their expertise in their human experimentation. And they never would have achieved what they were trying to achieve. But it wouldn't have stopped them from trying for the remainder of my life. So you look at the reality of 2007 in the Colorado Judicial Branch trying to set me up. And then 2010 onward with the root devil worshipping coven usurpers And there are attempts at slavery all over again, because I had to break signal control in '89, and their nonstop human experimentation. If I have to seek asylum from the United States of America, it'll be for racial persecution, religious persecution, slavery, and human experimentation. And I still have much technology in my brain and body, which makes the slavery and human experimentation go hand in hand automatically, right in line with the racial and religious persecution. And if I'm granted asylum in a country, that means automatically it'll be politically recognized that I am there fleeing racial persecution, religious persecution, slavery, and human experimentation from the United States of America and its Constitution, from both overground and underground entities. If I have to seek asylum, many others without these connections might want to consider the same. If I have to leave the country, whether you have these connections or not, you might want to seek the same. There's a reason why I gave intellectual property rights to the nations that I did, but not this one. My consultation is coming up soon. That's step one in how is this going to go. So for those who aren't on the inside, as unbelievable as all of this may sound, it's the truth. I hope this helps. All of you. Everybody else. Not everybody. Everybody else. Because that's what God told me when He asked me to stand in the gap. Calm down, my son. Relax. It's not about you. It's about everybody else. May the blessings of the Lord be upon you in Jesus' name. I love you, family.